All right, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy DJ Las Vegas. Please, DJ Las Vegas, man. And we got my man Rohan DaGreat, straight out of Brooklyn via North Carolina, or is it vice versa? It's North Carolina, straight out of Brooklyn, but Jamaican at heart. Do you feel me? Rohan DaGreat, man. What's popping, bro?
There, you know, man. Just happy to be alive, man, and just happy to do what I love, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I know we're supposed to go at 2. I can't do 2, but you at the barbershop getting fresh as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the beginning. All right. Your father's in a sound system, or back in the day. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man. So for me, this whole musical journey started from my father. With him, he was on a very popular sound system called Minimart Hi-Fi, which was the premier sound system in Brooklyn. Before you had Addies and all of those guys, you had Minimart from the 80s. And as a little kid, before I even knew how to like talk properly, my father used to bring me out on the sound. I remember chat lyrics. So that was my introduction to music on the whole, not only dancehall, but music. And then my father was like one of the premier guys on the sound too. So naturally, as a kid, you want to be like your father. So I definitely wanted to emulate him. And the thing about him was like, yo, if you're going to take up microphone, you have to do it properly. So he was training me just as a kid, you know, this microphone technique. And just he used to make me actually write rhymes. Like, no, you can't sing over Ninja Man. You have to write. So just from that schooling, and then my uncle was a selector on the sound system too. So from that schooling, it just ignited something in me. I just wanted to be like both of them, and then I just fell in love with the culture.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So it's pretty much music's in your blood, realistically.
Yeah, man, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, dope. Okay, so from there, you ended up going to North Carolina.
Yeah. So my mom is a twin, right?
Okay.
And when you know twins, they can't really stay apart from each other in most cases. So my aunt moved to North Carolina, and then as a result, after a couple of years, my mom was like, "Yo, she got to make that move too. She want to be near her sister." So I moved to North Carolina, and total culture shock. Culture shock. Remember, we coming from Brooklyn. We're coming from the 90s, the rough parts of Brooklyn. You know, I'm coming and everybody's, hi, neighbor, hi. Go to school, everybody's saying what's up. I'm like, yo, why these people saying hello to me? What them my problems are? You know what I mean? So like, you're coming from the concrete jungle, so you're ignorant in a sense, you know, certain things. So I came culture shock. And I was like, okay, so, you know, we could let our guard down. You know what I mean? We can't smile, not for screw face all the time. So it was a good environment. But the thing was, I became so bored because I moved to the country part of Carolina. So like, there was no like walking to the corner store or walking to the park. Everything was drive. So I figured I had to keep myself busy. So I just jumped into my music even harder. You know what I mean? Because in New York, you know what I mean? I do music, but you know, Jallo, they're muggling them things. So you're on a different mindset when you're in the city. When I came to the country, I was like, yo, I got to buckle down and find something to do before I get into trouble or something, you know what I mean? So that's when I really started to go deep down in music.
How old were you in that phase of going to Brooklyn to North Carolina? What was the age range?
15.
15. Oh, so you were like right into high school.
Yeah. I was in 10th grade.
Nice. So yeah, you're I guess you have like, you still have your Brooklyn rooted, and you're going to a new situation and you're becoming a man. So everything is so like, damn, what the hell's going on, right?
Right. Yeah, like it was total countryside. And like I said, I've been outside like from a little kid, like 3 years old on the block with the sound, you know what I'm saying? So my upbringing was different. Of course, like I was great in school, but I got to see the street aspect of it earlier. Like, not that my parents had me in danger or anything, but I was outside when most kids weren't allowed to be outside yet. You know what I mean? So growing up, so I feel I kind of grew up quick in those aspects. And then, so I've seen a lot in the 15 years. I got so many stories. I'm like, wow, I really lived when I was 15, but there was so much stories and so much happened in that 15 years. It's like someone 25 or 30 here would have experienced those things. So it's like coming from having all those memories to coming just seeing calls and you know what I mean, tobacco fields. It was rough, but I think that honestly that kind of saved me, because like we're saying, in the cities, you're gonna do certain things, you're gonna behave a certain way, and looking back now, a lot of my friends, you know, and don't get me wrong, I went to good schools, we lived in good neighborhoods too, but I realized a lot of my friends are in jail, they're dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
feel like going to North Carolina, it took away that element where that there was no streets really to stray to where I was. There was only thing was sports, your house, and your music. So definitely, I feel like moving to North Carolina definitely had a real positive effect on my life. I probably wouldn't be doing music if I was still in New York, to be honest with you.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I feel like New York and Toronto are kind of similar in that sense because we're very gets Caribbean oriented. So like did you guys like obviously you were young, so you were young. You ever been to like those wicked basement jams, those dance off?
Yeah, man.
Yo,
Oh, you mean? From a little picnic, you know. Remember,
yeah.
I moved with the sound, you know.
Yeah,
So from
yeah.
a little picnic, I go to parties. Even I had to sneak in with sound to some of the parties, but I've been in basement parties. I'm talking like 7, 8. You know what I mean?
Yo.
So like, yeah, that culture was always there. And then as I got older, started to move around by myself. You know, we done it all: the basement parties, Juve, Labor Day, everything. You know what I mean? From a kid coming straight up, and then there's none of that here.
I know. I feel like the youth kind of miss that. You know what I'm saying? That era is so special, like of experiencing like those type of things. I'm not saying the kids don't have those kind of parties, but I feel it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it's different. And the thing was, yes, we all, you know, rough places, but when we went to these parties, the goal was to have fun, find a girl, wind up and have fun, and like it wasn't we going looking for problems. Now I feel like these young youths, they're there on a different type of time, and like they there to just get into whatever. They didn't go to enjoy themselves and have fun and fully immerse themselves in the culture. You know what I mean? Now it's just something totally different.
Yes. Speaking of those elements, do you feel like you have embodied those attributes into the music that you're dropping as of late?
Yeah, man, definitely. I think I found a great way to fuse it. You know what I mean? Because it's weird. Like when you want to go in the mainstream, it's like it's hard to give them the raw, uncut culture because at one point they were saying they don't understand this, they don't understand that. I mean, it's getting better now. With afrobeats, they don't understand any of it, but they still listen to it. So it's getting better now. But yeah, I do feel like I embody it. Like each track has a different element. Like it's always that Caribbean vibe, but then I'm bridging the gap because we have a unique experience. So we're first generation Caribbean people coming from New York. So we're still growing up in fully Caribbean households. Exactly. But when we go outside, we're still in urban areas, we're still American. So it's like I have all those influences and I try to blend them. Not even try, it just comes out naturally. And also the funny thing is I started releasing rap music before I actually started doing like dancehall, sing-jay stuff. So having that experience from that career and now transitioning, I'm able to kind of weave back and forth between the two. So pretty soon I'm gonna show more of it, but for right now, just giving the, you know what I mean, little taste of this, little taste of that, and then we get the full 100 eventually.
That's crazy you say that because I was listening to your music, fam, and I would listen to Hit, and I'm like, yo, this is 2016. This shit sound like it could drop today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Hit is a smash record, and I was wondering, why did you switch from rap like that to dance or to like more Caribbean dancehall infused music?
Right. Honestly, I feel like it was the fans at the time. So I dropped Hit and a song called I dropped Hit and One More at the same time. Okay. So One More is a Caribbean song and Hit was obviously a hip hop song. And radio, everything just gravitated to One More. And being that I'm fully independent, it's like, yo, you know, I have to pick and choose. Is either one or the other. I ain't got money to put in both of them at the time. So and this is the second time I see something like that happen. My first Caribbean song, Summertime, dropped the same time as a hip hop song, Stop Now. And Summertime totally overshadowed Stop Now. So I'm like, well, it's seeming like a trend here. And this is what the people are wanting. So I got to go with what the people want. And I think that around the same time, Drake, I do him thing on Tory Lanez, I dropped Controlla. So it just seemed like in the mainstream radio here and the mainstream market, that's what they wanted to hear. So it just kept on giving them that, you know what I mean? And obviously it's organic stuff that I wanted to create anyway, but it just made more sense from a marketing standpoint.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I did hear One More. One More is hard. Like, I think all of the music that you had dropped before Fallin is really good. And Fallin took a different direction, in my opinion, because I think before you dropped Fallin, it was, what's the record that you dropped before Fallin?
Unfair Games.
Unfair Games, yeah. All the records from like those, like, I don't know, did it sound different? Like, what was DJ Ashani's idea when it came to creating Fallin?
Yeah, so Ashani wanted to come with something a little bit more up tempo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most like one more is kind of fast, but it's smooth more than anything. And with Fallen, it's still smooth, but it's a little faster tempo, and it kind of had like a reggaeton vibe in a sense to it too, almost. And with Ashani, he was really big with trying to capture that Latin market, because you see guys like Charlie Blacks and those guys, they do extremely well in the Latin market. So I think as a producer, he wanted to tap into that sound. And then with me, I just wanted to, try something new, and then it just worked out. And especially too, when we're trying to continue to cross over into that American urban vibe too, it's certain type of songs that they like. And I just feel like that worked perfectly. And I think he sent me the beat, and I had the song in 2 days. So, let's go.
Yeah, so you work here. All right, with that being said, yeah, we're gonna play Fallin by
DJ Ashani, Rohan DaGreat featuring Jaywin, which happens to be my little brother, by the way.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, let's get into the record, man. That was Fallin by Rohan DaGreat, Jaywin, DJ Ashani. Now you have a record label.
Yeah, man.
Is Jaywin your artist, or was he just?
Yeah, man. That's my blood brother, my little brother. He's on the label, and he's also the vice president as well.
Oh, crazy. Talk about your label real quick. Let me
Come on. My label is Leaders of the Artistic Revolution. So the idea to have my own label just came from seeing how things are with my father and a lot of the artists in the 80s. A lot of them didn't really understand the business. So they voice song for this producer, that producer, and then they took whatever upfront money. But a lot of them didn't get any residuals, anything like that. And I'm seeing these guys who I knew have like hit songs, and I'm seeing them outside in Brooklyn, and I'm like, something, not to diss no man, but it's like, it's not adding up. These songs are big. Where's that money that's supposed to come? So eventually what I did, I was like, you know what, let me research and find out what's going on. So I actually went to school for business and marketing, and then just learn as much as I could. And then I was like, you know, I'm starting my own label, so this will never happen to anyone that I know, or even to myself, or even to my father, or anyone again. So I started my own label and also my own publishing company. Did it on my own publishing as well.
That's fucking dope, bro. Like, you know, it's crazy. Like, not just like your people, but a lot of the older artists from the 80s and early 90s got like, you know, the royalties took in due to contracts unfair, or the label saying we did this, so we take this and then you get that, and it's pennies on the dollar. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're only getting paid just to perform the records that someone wrote for them, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It was a very unfair system. I'm glad that the youth are taking control of their art and control of their contracts. You see it in every industry right now. You see it in football, basketball, music, anything, movies. Like, everybody's just taking control, you know? How do you think the independent structure is going to help your career going forward after this release, Fallin, which is a dope record, by the way? It is crazy. How do you think the independent path is going to help you? And if so happens, someone says, yo, we have a deal here, Rohan, it's gonna be $1 million for your whole catalog, would you take it?
Well, to answer the last one, nah, I'm gonna come with something little better than that, especially for the entire catalog. Man, we got so much songs, and I have so much faith and confidence in myself that I know eventually, you know, on God's timing, I'm gonna be one of the premier stars in this, and I hope to be a legend in this, honestly. So the $1 million, it may sound crazy to some people now, but I wouldn't take it at this point. You know what I mean? Being independent, what I realize is, in today's landscape, I feel like a lot of the major labels, they do a lot of outsourcing anyway. Not a lot of stuff is done in-house. You know what I'm saying? They're reaching out to people to do this, people do that. So I realized what I could do is I could network with some of those same people, you know what I mean? And make those connections. And I maybe not be able to do it on the major scale like them, but a lot of things that these majors can do, I can do myself, just having the right people in my corner. Even guys like Chris, you know what I'm saying? Having those guys on your team definitely help a lot. So the independent structure gives me that freedom to move how I want to, and still be able to pick and choose who to work with. So I think it's definitely going to help, you know, because the freedom is the most important thing. Because if you're doing something and you don't have any freedom in it, it doesn't feel like fun anymore. It feels like a job, or you feel like you're being taken advantage of. So for the fact that I could be independent and do what I want, that's key. And then number two, having the business sense now to know who to work with and who not to work with, I think will help me out. The only pitfall for any independent artist is working with the right people. There are so many predatory people out here right now that if something costs $100, they're gonna tell you it's $1,000, that's $5,000. Like I've heard horror stories, man. So like that would be the only setback. Some of these things are, you live and you learn, because no matter how much knowledge you think you may have about something, if it's a new experience, sometimes you may get burned. But the best thing is to try to do your research as much as possible and try to read people's energy to not get burned. But other than that, I think independent is the way to go.
That's it. Besides jaywin, anybody else on the label?
No, honestly, I dropped like all of them. I ain't yo, we had a lot of people in the beginning. That's no disrespect to them. Life changed. Like we started off with about 12 artists, and then over time, because it's a struggle, you know what I mean? It's not like overnight. A lot of people think it's overnight and stuff like that. So over time, everyone kind of weeds themselves out. So right now, it's just me and Jaywin, and I have a prospect artist that I want to sign. I'm not gonna shout her out yet, but I'm just watching and making sure that the grind is there, because that's the most important thing. Like I could bring an artist, but if they don't want to work for themselves, and if they don't want to actually, do this, I can't do it for them. So I'm not gonna waste energy and manpower and money on artists that don't want to work. So right now it's just us two, you know what I mean? As it was in the beginning. So
like Vybz Kartel says, as it was in the beginning, it will be in the end, guys.
Yeah.
Have you heard the myth that artists signing to other artists never work out?
I've heard that myth, and I think there's a little bit of truth to it. But I think people maybe look at it from a standpoint, maybe it's like ego and those things. I look at it differently. I think, like, even for me right now, just honestly, I couldn't give my 100% to an artist on the label right now, and I'm gonna keep that 100 because I have my own career. As we see interviews, this and that, creating. So it's like, yes, I can hire staff, but at the same point with these type of things, it's usually the founders that have the passion to do everything. And if I'm an artist and Jaywin's the vice president, he's an artist too, how much time are we really going to have to give you, honestly? You know what I mean? As an artist. So I do see where it becomes a conflict of interest, not because of ego, but because of time and manpower in certain cases where it might not be the best look. It may be better to sign to a label that they can assign you this person to help you, that person to help you. But that artist, especially if they're on the way up, because like we said, every level we go, it's a new experience. We're learning as we go. So we might feel we have the time now, but then your song bus, you're doing 4 shows a week. You know what I mean? Like it's artist to artist, especially on the independent come up level, doesn't make any sense to me.
I didn't ask you. You say it again. Sorry, say that again.
It's kind of hypocritical with me having a label, but
but you know what? At least you're honest, right? There's nothing wrong with being honest. And you are Jamaican. I forgot to ask you, right? You are Jamaican, right? Okay.
Yeah, man.
So so do you think it's a regional thing? Because I'm thinking about artists like Bounty and even Vybz. They had the ability to bust artists, and even Vybz Kartel busting artists as an active artist. So do you think that's something that is like a regional thing as opposed to like, being as a myth through the whole spectrum of things?
Definitely. I think the reason why Bounty can bring so much artists and also Kartel with Gaza is the fact that the industry is totally different in Jamaica. Whereas there's like, okay, of course they have Alliance and Gaza, but it's not the traditional record label. Like in Jamaica, the producers are putting out the songs.
Yes.
So you have an artist and the songs to come out, really they're just linking with the producers individually, and the producers are handling the releases. Yes, Kartel and them will have a say in it, but it's still the producers releasing it rather than Bounty and Kartel releasing it themselves. So I feel like if it was the American structure where the label itself is in control of everything, I don't know if it would be that easy to bust the artist per se. So you think that's model?
You think that system works better? Because I mean, look at Jamaica; it's a very small country, but as opposed to America, where we have all these issues. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we need to formulate to that system because that system kind of works better, no?
Yeah, so I think it's definitely pros and cons. So it does work good in a sense, but then the artists them are saying the same thing too. Well, the producer them not really paying same way. So, but Jamaica is different because they're making their money off of dubplates more than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dubplates and shows. So if you're not really making money off of the songs, it's not really bothering you as much because you know what I mean. You still see an income, but I do think it helps. Like for me, I'm doing like a hybrid thing. So I release my own stuff. Like the Fallin is a collaboration between me and Ashani, right?
Yes.
But then I've also voiced for like ZJ Ice, where it's his song totally, and then I have stuff where it's just me totally. So I think if we could find some middle ground where you have more control on your own personal stuff, I feel like your albums you should put out yourself. But if you singles, definitely work with other producers, and then that way you can make sure the music get out, to put more music out, because like I said, independent, I can't fund 3, 4, 5 songs at a time, but I know I can put my money into one song, and I can put fee money behind him song ashani. So I think if we find a middle ground, that's perfect for everybody wins that way.
Yo, that's a really good idea, man.
On Jules.
You just dropped gems on your artists, man. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? The producer is the key at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like it is 50-50. You know what I'm saying? It is a 50-50 world, but you know what I'm saying? If like you said, as an artist, you can go around producer and just drop in hits on each producer, then at least each producer would have control. They'll have, it's like, it's a piece of their heart too. So it's like, okay, I'm going to put in as much effort, and maybe you don't even have to put dollars behind it. Let the producer put out the work and you'll reap the benefits, right?
Right.
With 5-6 producers and you're gold.
Exactly. And I realized that's like, because I was wondering, like, yo, all the money I put out song every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. And I'm like, yo, it's impossible. And I realized, you know what? Yeah, they're voicing for this one, they're voicing for that one. You can do that. You can stay relevant, because Jamaica is so fast-paced with a song hot for a month or two, most of the time, and it's next song. I'm like, yo, I'm working a song in America. We're working it for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's like or a year. You know what I mean? So, but now I understand. Well, it's if you work with those producers, you can still stay current, and you can still push your hit song where you want to push, but it's gonna keep you current and get you out there. So yeah, it definitely helps.
Any plans on going back home to promote a lot of your material and stuff?
Ironically, we're supposed to be doing this interview from a beach house in Negril today, but so yeah. So probably I'll probably be in Jamaica at the end of the month. Multiple times this year. I'm going end of the month I was supposed to do a photo shoot and a music video for a collaboration I did with an artist by the name of Kyah Black. And then I have a single dropping called Emergency with Even Up Productions. So I'm going to do the album release in October. So definitely be in Jamaica a lot.
Nice. I heard that you have an upcoming song called Addicted.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for that to drop, man. So here's the thing. That song was actually created, was supposed to be on my first project, my first EP. And it was good, but it just didn't fit the vibe of the first one. So I actually held on to it and re-recorded it. And I'm like, I'm loving it, because right now it's just perfect. It's smooth. It's a blend of the dancehall, got a little afrobeat vibe, and it just kind of shows a little different range, because the songs that I've done before, they were great. But I felt like I didn't really get to show like my growth as a person, because them songs that were dropped before, most of them recorded like 2016, 17, and 18. So now, like, yeah, I want to show you who I am since then. So this is a little bit more mature, and I think it's the first time people will hear me more. Same kind of concept, but just more with it. You know what I mean? It ain't play. I saw them all really hard man come with a different type of energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
rough it up a bit. So still smooth, but I'm very excited to see what people would think of this kind of newer sound from me.
Yo, I am excited to hear more music from you. Any shout outs, man? Any shout outs, requests, maybe? I don't know, like close it off. A real yard man close off. No, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Don't know if you big up the thing, man. Big up MJ Promotion, Even Up Promotions, you know what I mean? The whole Trust Not Lane and Westmoreland, you don't know the thing said. After big up Chris, after twang it, you know what I mean? So Chris can catch it. Big up Chris Wami, that's my guy, bro. You know what I mean? Big up the whole of Toronto, because I'm well one forward, you know, but through the COVID thing was kind of weird for a little bit, but I definitely, Toronto is one of my biggest markets, you know. Like, when I look at stats, it's one of my biggest markets. So big up the whole of Toronto. You will be seeing me soon. I'm big you up, family, for having me on the show. Definitely appreciate it.
Don't know, my brother. Don't know, Chris. There you have it. Rohan DaGreat. Big dancehall. Actually, I wouldn't even call him a dancehall. He's a Caribbean artist, hybrid. Big up the label, jaywin, the man them.
Yeah,
Can't wait to see you. And make sure y'all bro, stay blessed, bro. Have a good day. Be safe. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's all positivity when you're back home, man. Like, just put in the work, dog, and you'll see what happens, my G.
Yeah, man. Likewise. Give thanks, man. And keep the link, definitely, bro.
Oh, for sure. We're going to keep the link, bro.
Yeah, man.
All right. Man. Bless up. Don't know, Chris.
Peace.